Nearly 200 New York City public schools now teach children in 2 languages at once. But these days the goals are, well, they're a bit different.
A lot of schools, especially the private ones, aim to make sure that children who are already English dominant speak more than one language. Linda Vaquero shows us an example in this week's Visiones.
This is a public affairs presentation from News for New York. Visiones.
School's tough in one language, but what about 2 at the same time? Well, some educators argue it's the path to success. And here to explain is Kelly Grant, the director of a dual language school on the Upper West Side called La Escuelita. Great to see you, Kelly.
Thank you, Linda.
Lots more of these schools coming about. First of all, describe a typical day for a child at La Escuelita.
La Escuelita is like going to preschool in Spanish. You do all the fun things that you would do in preschool. You play with your friends, you do dress up, art, books, all in Spanish.
And tell me, now there are more than just under 200 dual language schools, programs of some kind in New York City public schools. Why do you think we're seeing more of these kinds of schools?
Because people are starting to realize the value of being bilingual and being truly bilingual. These dual language programs honor both languages, English and Spanish. We're surrounded by English, which is why our program is mostly Spanish. When the children are older, we do 10% English. Because you're surrounded by English, you need that reinforcement for Spanish.
Tell us what the difference is between what people might consider bilingual education. You know, there's this battle in the 70s, and tell us how this is different.
This is different because we're finally honoring bilingualism in 2 languages. Before it was more of a transitional approach. We were trying to, children who didn't speak English at home, we were trying to catch them up, so to speak. Now we're thinking about it differently, and being bilingual and functional in 2 languages is a huge asset. Why would you squander that gift?
Lots of studies, right?
Lots of studies, and cognitive benefits as well. I mean, beyond the obvious benefits of being bilingual, bilinguals can multitask better, they can concentrate better. Studies are even showing that you can delay the onset of Alzheimer's.
So this is a private school. Are the families people who are Spanish dominant and are trying to teach their kids English, or not?
They're both. Many of our families are Spanish dominant. Some have one parent that just speaks Spanish, and others don't speak any Spanish, and they all work together.
Wonderful. And what about, are there any disadvantages? Sometimes we hear about initial language development delays. Is that possible?
Even if it's a delay, at the end of it, you're bilingual.
That's how I see it. Benefits in 2 languages. And what schools do your kids graduate to?
Many different schools. They go to many private schools, gifted and talented programs, just general education programs, and also dual language programs. We're very fortunate that those are expanding.
Okay, and as I said, it is a private school, but you say that for families who might be interested.
Absolutely apply, and financial aid's available.
Wonderful. And what's the website? Where can people get more info?
LaEscuelitaNYC.org.
LaEscuelitaNYC.org. Again, an interesting new model, dual language program. Kelly Grant, thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda.
This is a public affairs presentation from News for New York. Visiones.